Hi, I'm Chad Stenford with L&D Ag Service, giving you a little overview on our liquid force insecticide systems. What we have here is a Raven injection pump, and we have Syngenta's Force branded insecticide, which we are injecting in furrow to any sort of in furrow system. As you can see, this is a John Deere box, and it has these quick lock connectors, which enables it to be a fully enclosed system. On the injection pump here, this is the inlet. So the two choices for the inlet are either, in this case, the fertilizer, which is used for priming, or the Force CS system. This is what makes the Force CS closed system. What makes this a closed system part. This is a dry lock fitting. These cabinets hold 4 of these 2.5 gallon containers. Each container does 40 acres. So what you do is you remove this, and for safety reasons I'm not going to this time. You remove this and then simply connect with the dry lock fitting, and then that way you don't have to worry about getting any of the chemicals on yourself. Okay, this is what you'll see when you first fire up your Sidekick console. When you put it in the hold position, which is the position you'll use when you're programming, you first come up with the what type of system you want to use. In our situation here, we'll be using the US system. SP1 is what you'll use. That's your radar setting. If you're using GPS speed, you'll use SP1, but if you're using radar to get your speed into here, press the CE button once and change that to SP2. If not, you'll be in SP1 and it'll show you that you're traveling. It'll multiply your speed traveled by 100. Then you'll just press enter through this, and now it will say cal. What you'll need to do now is enter your boom calibration in, and this is in inches. So to figure that, you take your number of rows times row width. In our case here, we're 16 rows, 30 inches. So press enter, 480, enter. Then now you'll enter your speed calibration in. Press speed cal, and this will come up. Hit enter. Since we're in a John Deere tractor, 620, enter. That'll be a good starting point. You'll have to verify that and move that number up and down accordingly once you start driving. If you're in a Challenger or a Case tractor, start this number about 800 will be a starting point for you. Your meter cal this is coming directly off the injection pump, is 2031, and that'll be the same for all systems. To enter when you enter your flow rate, the recommended rate for this is 8 ounces. So same way you'd calibrate the other ones. And then the distance, speed, total volume, and total area. There's no calibration required. Your distance when you're going across the field, that will count feet for you. Your speed will show your speed, and you'll have to look at this when you're going in to calibrate when you're going in to verify that your speed cal is correct. Your total volume, that will give you the total volume applied per field or per refill, and your total area will tell you how many acres you've covered so far when the planter implement switch is tripped. Okay. This is our L&D Ag Service switch box. We make these at our shop. And what this is, right now it is in off. What this does is simulates an implement switch being off as if the planter was up. Each system is equipped with an implement switch or is getting boom sense through another console. If you turn this to on, this green LED comes on, and what the on means is that simulates that the planter is down and has tripped the implement switch. This way, for calibration and rinsing purposes, you don't have to go out and actually trip the implement switch. For normal field operation, you'll go to auto, and what that does is tells the Sidekick that the master switch is actually out on the planter. It's a whisker switch that you mounted, so that will be tripped, and it'll tell your planter when it's in the air and when it's not. And that's the only way that Sidekick will run, when it's in the run position in field operation. This is the implement switch that we use. It's an ag leader implement switch. When right now it is in the normally closed position. As the planter frame comes up, it pushes it ahead like that, and that tells it to turn off. When priming this system, you'll select this the intake valve here. You will put to the side that's coming out of the fertilizer line, that T in there. And then you will also, on the outlet side, you will select what's running from here out to the red ball flow monitor, and then from the flow monitor goes into the injection point. So again, when priming, you'll select fertilizer in and injection side, or injection T out. When doing a calibration, you will select fertilizer in, and then you'll turn this valve to your discharge, which goes out to a check valve and then out to the ground. And that's used either for a calibration or for rinsing. Now I'll go over the steps on how to prime the system. You'll hold the distance button until C on comes on. That means that's in auto mode. Notice how I have this in off and this is in hold. From this being C on, hit the CE button, and that goes to C off, and press enter. That means that you've now put the Sidekick console in manual. Then what you do is hold the flow rate until flow flashes, and then turn this to on and run. What that just did was signaled the Sidekick that it has boom sense. You run the arrow up while flow is flashing, and you can see this number starting to climb, and you will run this up until it hits about 40. What that does is it runs the pump wide open, and that's what's giving it this prime. We're working the air out of the lines. As you can see, we're starting to get water running through the line now, because this, or in this case it's water, but it will be fertilizer. As that button, that LED starts flashing, that signifies flow going through the pump. There, now we have hit wide, it running wide open. This is flashing, which means that the pump is being primed. When the pump is running, this LED will flash. This is what's giving it the signal, the same as it is on the Sidekick console. So if you're behind and you're wondering if you're behind the planter looking at it and you're wondering if it's actually getting prime or not, this will indicate that. Now that we have our pump primed, I've shut it off in the cab, because it's very important that these valves do not get turned while the pump is running. What it does is it'll twist the cartridges inside, and then you have to get new cartridges. So since we're going to change our inlet valve, we were coming out of the fertilizer T. Now we'll switch over to the T that's coming out, and we'll suck out of the four force boxes. Again, it's important to look and make sure that the valve on your strainer is open, or you'll receive a VAC alarm in the cab. This is the Wilger low flow column. What this does is there's a red glass ball in here that enables you, once there is product flowing through here, this ball will run up about mid-height to alert the driver that there is actually flow going through.
As you can see, to calibrate the Force CS system, we are filling the tank with a couple 100 gallons of water just to perform the test and the calibration.
Now we'll do a calibration test. what we do for that is you'll need a jug that is able to be measured in ounces, up to 40 ounces. What I've done is I've left the inlet here to coming out of the fertilizer tee, and I've changed the outlet to going to our calibration line. And what we'll do is we'll go into the cab, we'll place this down at the bottom here so it'll catch it, or if there's two people, have someone hold it, and we'll program the sidekick to put out 40 ounces and we'll compare. To do the calibration, the pump will have to be in manual mode. So again, what we do is hold the 7 button until C on comes on. So currently we are in manual mode. You'll select the total volume button and program that to 0. Hitting enter, 0, enter. And now we will tell the sidekick to run. And we'll go up to 40 ounces on here, and then we'll stop. And we'll stop it at 40. This is what we caught out of our calibration. This is, as you can see, right on, spot on 40. These come factory calibrated, and we have very little problems with them coming from the factory out of spec. We recommend you check these calibrations on them at the beginning of each season, and if the calibration is off, there's something internally with the pump that is either worn out or there's something that needs to be replaced inside of the pump. We wanted to mention that if you have to change the calibration, if the calibration number if you're not measuring out 40 ounces, there is something internally wrong with the pump. This is just a check, more of a calibration. Then if it's off, there needs to be either a valve replaced or something inside of the pump. Another question that's commonly asked is if we calibrate with water, is it different with the fertilizer or is it different with the force insecticide? The answer to that is no. This is a positive displacement pump, so an ounce is an ounce to that. It doesn't matter what the product density is. Now that we've done our calibration, we're ready to go to the field. So what we're going to do is switch this one over from the fertilizer tee over to the line running to the force CS. And then we're going to change this valve here that was going out to our calibration line, which is now going to our flow monitor and then out to our injection point. Now that the calibrations have been done and we've switched everything back over on the back side of the planter, you're ready to go to the field in the front side of the tractor here. So what we'll do, we'll zero out the total volume by pressing enter, 0, enter. We will then hold the 7 button, and this will switch us out of manual, C off, C on, and then your meter cal is still the same. Your flow rate is what you'll probably be watching, and then you'll switch this box from on to auto, and then what that's going to do is be triggered by the implement switch when you put this in run. This is an important step to remember at the end of each planting day, regardless of temperature. We're going to want you to switch this intake valve from pulling out of the force to pulling out of the liquid fertilizer. What that does is going to push all the liquid force out of the lines, otherwise it settles out and you'll have plugged orifices the next day. So you got a reminder to do that at the last pass across your field at the end of the day. When temperatures are approaching 32 degrees, we're going to want you to pull these boxes, release this quick coupler, and pull these boxes out and bring them into the shop, because this force does tend to freeze at right around the same levels of water. And we only have one box in here now for demonstration, but when you have all 4 of them in there, they will drain evenly out of there, as there's no valves or anything in the plumbing. Anytime you're handling the force when you're hooking or unhooking these, we highly, strongly recommend that you wear gloves and glasses. Alright, now you should be ready to go for your field application with your in-furrow placement of Force CS injection. I'm Chad Stensrud with L&D Ag Service. Thank you.